ever had that kind of feeling that the thought that you had in your head and your partner, your friend, your children, your business partner, your client, your supplier had a different vision, and somehow you've ended up going on completely divergent paths? Like the time somebody says, should we book a holiday? And you have in your mind a nice camping trip in the Scottish Highlands, and they have in their mind hanging around a pool in Ibiza. Not really the same, but holiday means something different to both of you. Now, this happens all the time in business, where somebody thinks they've got a deal and then a contract comes along and kind of tears the whole thing apart and reorganises it, renegotiates it, changes the deal. Well, this happened to me with my son. We went into a toy shop. He must have been about somewhere between 8 and 9, and he had some birthday money, and it was a great proper old-fashioned toy shop, not massive, so he didn't have an awful lot of choice, but all it sold was children's toys. And I went, as we walked through the door and the little bell rang, I said, Johnny, you've got this much money, you can spend it on anything you like. And with that little twinkle of excitement that children have, he wandered into the shop and headed towards the things that were in his price range. And yes, he couldn't buy the Starship Galaxy Lego set with 1,000,001 pieces, most of which will be under the sofa before you know it, but he could buy some really nice kit. And as he was wandering around, I kept trying to steer him towards the stuff I thought he should have. I thought maybe a science set or a chemistry kit or something to build or something practical or arty or... And my sister said, what are you doing? You said he could have anything. He can reach everything. He can see everything. Why don't you just let him wander around and pick? And I realised I was doing the very thing I hate it when people do to me. Changing the deal, making my vision their vision. I was getting in the way of him having fun spending his money. Well, I stepped back. And actually I did take a long, hard look at myself and realise that I was doing what mums and dads do all over the world, which is want to spend money on something that seems sensible at the time. Now, what he came out with was this. Now, you may not know, but this is small clanger. I loved the clangers when I was a kid. I remember it vividly. In fact, my sister and I made clangers out of felt because we had a clanger annual that had a pattern for making clangers. Clangers! Who wouldn't want a clanger in their house? This clanger has been in our house for 8 years. This clanger has outlasted the model kits or the chemistry kits or anything else. And I don't know if my son loves it as much as I do, but when he made his choice, he was happy, unconditionally happy with the deal that he'd struck. And to be honest, seeing how happy he was, I realised that I had been trying to trample over his happiness. Now, in contract terms, maybe you're not trampling over their happiness, but maybe you're trampling over their expertise. Maybe you're trampling over their feelings, their trust in you and with you. Maybe you're trampling over their commercial objectives. Maybe you're making their technical objectives difficult to achieve. So just step back occasionally. Think, do I really need to do that? Do I really need to add a new condition? Do I really need to add a new clause? Will it really help us to achieve our objective? Or will we end up with a bit of a boring chemistry set that gets never played with? Or will we end up with a clanger that's loved for a very long time? You decide. Your contracts should safeguard your business without annoying your clients.